Tuesday, May 3rd, was opening day at FLUX Art Fair in Marcus Garvey Park, Harlem, New York City. Here we document Susan Stair's creation of tree reflections, and we join Susan Stair just before a casting session with her subject, an Osage orange tree in Marcus Garvey Park.
My gosh, the bark is just beautiful.
It is. There are just a million patterns in this bark.
The Osage orange tree stands near the southern boundary of Marcus Garvey Park and was the inspiration for Susan's art. She describes the origins of tree reflections.
Well, I was working on a large mural for PS 189, the Rosa Parks School, and during the process we use a theme, by the waters, like a tree planted by the rivers, we shall not be moved. So we made a 6 by 9 foot tree. I had a consultant who was doing the ceramic work, and I was working with her, and that was very exciting. But at the end of the process, I hadn't seen what I wanted to see in the surface of the tree. Worked perfectly in that mural. But I had 200 pounds of clay left over and decided I wanted to go out and play around with it. And the result has been the ongoing development of clay drawings and ability to see a great deal of detail in trees.
Susan refined her art of casting trees in clay and submitted an idea for FLUX Art Fair in Harlem.
Yes, FLUX Fair is a brainchild of Leanne Stella. She's a director of art programs in Art in Flux, her company, and has been in pop-up galleries and is now working with some venues in galleries and has an annual art fair. This is the second year.
Susan talks about finding the tree for the project for FLUX Art Fair.
I've been casting trees in Marcus Garvey Park for about 5 years. Going through the park, it's a form of a diary for me to see the surface of the trees. And I wanted to do a tree for the fair, but I wanted to also do a mosaic in a tree because I'm interested in kind of adorning trees. I think we don't realize the value of trees. And by putting a mosaic, it's almost like jewelry for a tree. So I wanted the combination of seeing a really unusual surface on the tree and then adding a mosaic to celebrate the tree. And I searched and went through 3 or 4 different trees. It's hard to get permission to hang things in trees. They're concerned about the trees, which is a good thing. And then I found this Osage orange tree that has branches that hang behind the fence where I was going to install. So these shapes complemented and gave me ideas for the shape of my tree that is a reflection of the tree that's right across the path. This tree has incredible bends. My piece is like a gestural drawing of a tree because the tree itself bends all over. It turns out this was the first tree that was sent back from the West in Lewis and Clark's expedition. It also was primarily used for wagon wheels because the wood itself bends without breaking, has huge tensile strength. And the orange color shows that it was rot resistant and water resistant. So it has chemicals and things within it that made it extra strong while being flexible. It also was used as a fencing all over as we were moving west in the westward expansion, and they planted it so close that it grew into itself and could hold in cattle and become borders for territories.
Tree Reflections was designed and mapped by Susan, and like a puzzle, the pieces came together. With approval for the art piece from New York City Parks and an artist award from the Marcus Garvey Park Alliance, with funding provided by the Harlem Community Development Corporation, casting began.
This is such a dramatic tree with these really deep fissures that it'll take a lot of additional pounding, pulling. Not always possible. So here is the inside coming out. That looks pretty good also. Yeah,
She's always aware that the clay can shrink up to 10% during the firing.
Alright, now, as I thought, this is the fissure. It caught a little bit. Basically, it's a little dull, but I'm going to take that into the studio and see how it looks.
She carefully lays out the pieces and inspects them. Susan had many different casting sessions with the tree. Smaller pieces were laid out and fit together. The extension of the Osage tree and mosaic branches were then assembled. The installation had a special backing board.
This is Weedy board. It's a product that's made in Germany. It's completely waterproof. It's one of the only backer boards that's completely waterproof. And it allowed me to handle the weight of the clay without too many structures and supports, because I wanted it to be as minimal as possible so you could see light through all the pieces. So both sides are waterproof, and I discovered this late in the process, and it was an excellent discovery.
4 installers, including the artist, took the different Weedy boards and attached them with wire to the fence. Susan shares her thoughts about the art piece.
I think we all need to start to embrace trees and realize that our keeping them alive is going to help us a lot. But then they're also fabulously beautiful. And they have so much variety. It's like race. They have faces that are really differentiated, that grow over time when they're hit. Like with lightning, the first 2 tree mosaics I did were in trees that had been hit by lightning. And I was kind of celebrating their longevity and their life. So trees have so much going on, and I hope people will enjoy that.